Hello everybody and welcome to my channel today. Today we're going to be talking about rubs and marinade, pastes and steeping liquids, kind of a potpourri of different things. There's not a real through line for any of these because they're kind of general. So this is going to be a short video today, hopefully. The ingredients used for marinades and rubs are endless. And we're not going to get any specific sorts of marinades and rubs. Just know that they're made of any number of fruits and vegetables and spices and herbs. Rubs and marinades and steeping liquids and all those things can be very easily made at home, so there's no real reason to buy the pre-made versions, which often contain high levels of sodium, other additives that may not be healthy, and may be made in a way that may not be healthy. Marinade is a term for a seasoned liquid that an ingredient will be submersed into for quite a while. You are so cute. You're so cute. Look how cute you are. Look how cute you are. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Say hi, I'm Corey. I'm a big suck baby. Yes, you're a big suck baby, aren't you? So a marinade is a seasoned liquid created for soaking meats in order to flavor and or tenderize raw meats before cooking. Marinades can contain oil and they usually contain acids, but those are not required. If you're making an emulsion of some sort, oil is required. Some meats require less marinating time than others, the most marinating time being for cuts of beef, the least marinating times being for cuts of fish. Other meats that require less marinade time include veal and pork and poultry. The marinating time for fish and shellfish is about 20 to 30 minutes, whereas a beef marinade can be up to like 8 to 12 hours. And if you're making a marinade for something like corned beef, the marinade or the brine you'll have to marinate or brine it for a very, very long time. Marinades are good in proteins that need a long time to be cooked, especially if they're being grilled. And it is said that it helps it maintain moisture during cooking. Marinades come in both wet and dry. However, dry marinades are usually called a rub.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Different marinades are appropriate for different kinds of foods. Marinades with seafood, poultry, and vegetables are really there in an attempt to add flavor, not to tenderize. These marinades tend to be less acidic and soaking time is shorter than with other meats. Marinade is basically acid plus oil plus flavoring components in any variation that you see fit. As mentioned, marinades come in both wet and dry. One is called a rub and the other can be a wet rub or a paste. Rubs or spice rubs are made of fresh dried herbs and ground spices mixed together to create a blend. It can be massaged into meat, fish, or poultry or vegetables prior to cooking. It does not act as a tenderizer, rather a way of infusing flavor into an item. Salt is the foundation of a successful rub. When a rub is joined with a liquid such as oil, juice, prepared mustard, fresh ginger, and garlic, it is coated on meat, fish, poultry, and vegetables. It is a wet rub. Dry rubbed items cooked via a dry heat method infuses flavor in the item it covers and can create a flavorful crust around the item. Pastes or wet rubs include acidic marinades, enzyme marinades, and dairy marinades. An acidic marinade is a marinade that contains vinegar, wine, or highly acidic juices such as tomato juice or citrus juice. Enzyme marinades are made with fruits such as kiwi and pineapple. If meat is left in an enzyme marinade too long, it will destroy the texture of a meat and make it spongy and mushy. Alternatively, wet marinade that was absorbed by the meat evaporates, leaving the meat dry and tough. You should be careful with what you're marinating and how long you're marinating it for. Then there's the dairy marinades, where the calcium in the dairy activates enzymes already in the meat. Good bases for dairy marinade include buttermilk and yogurt. And buttermilk and yogurt are mildly acidic. So there's a lot of crossover with marinades and dry rubs and pastes. If you have any questions about them or want to discuss them further, just leave me a comment in the comment section below. we're gonna move on to steeping liquids. And steeping liquids are also an infusion. And steeping liquids are usually when you soak dry ingredients in a liquid to soften or infuse the liquid flavor into the item. It's most common with dairy and dried fruits. A hot liquid is generally preferred and the most effective. A common example is a vanilla bean in hot milk to enhance the flavor of the milk, or ice cream to flavor an ice cream base. How long to steep depends highly on the specific ingredient. This summer I used steeping to make ice cream. I made a lavender honey ice cream from lavender I grew from my garden by steeping the lavender in the hot milk and sugar mixture that is the base of an ice cream. And I also made a mixture of spearmint and mint made from mint from my garden, and they were probably some of the best ice creams I've ever had. So I highly recommend, if you make ice cream, to use the steeping method to give your ice cream a unique flavor. Storage and food safety. So this is going to be a little bit different than all the other staples, because storage and food safety highly depends in this case on what is in your rub and marinade. First of all, if you use a liquid marinade and you've put meat in it to soak, discard that marinade. Do not use marinade that has had raw meat in it. If you want more information on safety and sanitation and why that's a bad idea, there is a link in the description of kitchen safety and sanitation videos that I made that will cover the dangers of reusing something that's had raw meat in it. It can contain bacteria and you can get a foodborne illness from it. So it's best just to toss it out. And if you wanted to make a sauce from the same ingredients, just do it separately. Don't reuse the liquid for anything. There are a number of prepackaged rubs, pastes, and marinades on the market, but the ones you make yourself will always be better and will be healthier. The products on the shelf will contain preservatives and fillers and undesirable ingredients for some, such as MSG or high fructose corn syrup or corn solids or starchy thickeners or oils that are not that great. If you want more information on what oils to look out for in packaged ingredients, take a look at the 2 links in the description where I discuss picking the right oil and also oils in general. If the items are a pre-made packaged item, look at the back of the package for storage instructions. If you're making your own at home, if it's liquid and has fresh ingredients, it goes in the refrigerator. If it's dry ingredients, it can be stored in the cupboard in a cool, dark place in a tightly sealed container. Once opened, most marinades and rubs that you get from a grocery store should be refrigerated, but again, take a look at the label. To come back to some of the most important points I wanted to draw out of this video, they include never reuse marinated rubs. Never taste a marinade that has come in contact with a raw meat ingredient. Never reuse a plate or container that has previously had a raw meat ingredient on it, and that includes the plate that you take the meat to the grill with or to the stove with, unless you have sanitized it between the time it had a raw ingredient on it and when you're going to collect your cooked ingredient. All this is to prevent foodborne illnesses. That was all there is for this kitchen staples and flavorings. We'll be talking more about this stuff like further down the road when we get back into the kitchen and start cooking again, which I'm gonna be honest, can't come fast enough. In any case, thank you for stopping by my video and watching it if you've gotten this far. As always, have a wonderful day. Are you my baby? You my baby? No. Lay down. Lay down. Like I mentioned previously, marinades and rubs has a lot of ambiguity